Hey guys, I know it's been a while. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing. On this channel, we keep it real about what's going on in the trucking industry. Period. It's a lot of people that's on YouTube that talks about, the trucking industry. A lot of people on Instagram, the internet, Facebook, but I don't think people that teach or the gurus or whatever you want to call them, I don't think they talk enough about what's going on negatively in the industry. And I'm not even gonna say negative realistically in the industry, because they just want y'all to continue to pay for something. I don't know what the problem is, but I'm here to speak about it. So I definitely suggest in this video I want to talk about the things that has been going on in the industry. And if you guys, this information could be helpful to any new carriers, anyone that's thinking about becoming a dispatcher, that's thinking about becoming a broker, or definitely a carrier. You want to stay tuned and watch this video full out all the way to the end, because you don't want to miss anything that I'm saying or skip over, because it's been so much that's been going on. And I'm about to get into it for you. So let's get into it, guys. So first thing first, being that the entire United States has been in inflation since last year, the trucking industry went downhill. Anything that's going on with politics, anything that's going on in the world with the war, anything that's going on with oil, anything that's going on political, anything that goes on politically, it's a domino effect to the trucks. So being that in this world, in the United States, we are in inflation, meaning everything is expensive, literally. So if you are thinking about hopping into this industry, this is not like it was 2 years ago. We have been in inflation, from what my experience, since June or July. That's when it really started looking crazy. And also, so June and July, that's when the inflations really start getting crazy in our eyes. So, of last year, these are not the same rates of 2020, 2021. These are not the same. It's not the same era, okay? Therefore, if everything is expensive due to inflation, that means that the prices of insurance, which is going to be one of your most expensive things that you're going to have to pay for, has increased. It was fuel, but thank God fuel has decreased a little over the months, but fuel was crazy. Also repairs, getting your truck repaired, that's going to be more expensive than it used to be as well, due to inflation. So if you want to hop in this industry, I want people to hop in this industry realistically. Now, as a dispatcher, I want you to understand that if you were charging 10%, you might have to lower that 10% down to I'll say 3 to 7%, just because a lot of carriers can't afford it right now. They can't afford it. It all depends on what you're doing for the carrier as well. If you're doing factoring, if you're doing majority paper, I would say that too. It all depends on what all you're doing for the carrier. But I would say if you are charging top percent, unless you got a hell of a dedicated lane, lower that amount a little bit, because these carriers cannot afford it. Over the past year, I have seen multiple carriers put down their truck due to them not being able to afford it. And so just imagine you having to pay for insurance, truck repairs, you got to pay your driver, and being due to supply and demand in the economy, when it comes to freight, the truck rates dropped. So with truck rates dropped, everything else is expensive. How can you profit, right? So a lot of people that jump into the industry, they really don't know how to manage a business. I know it sounds crazy, but it's real. It's real. A lot of people do not know how to seriously manage a business. A lot of these people just really jumped into it because that was the thing to do at the time. My bad, y'all. My phone went dead earlier, but back in my office. But okay. So anyway, like I was saying, that was just a cool thing to do at the time, because everybody for some reason thought it's easy, it's a get rich quick, I can go in there and get this money, So you really get in there and you realize it is not that easy. You really gotta put in the work. Okay, so also, like I was speaking about, I was talking about how inflation. So due to inflation, another thing that happened is the ports. Everybody thought, okay, so being that rates are so low, let's run to the ports. Guess what? The ports dried out. So in a lot of areas, it was no freight coming from the ports either. And the rates also dropped from the ports too. So that was X'd out. So what's next to do? So what's next is now we really just got to strategize to see how can we still remain to keep profit, or at least make a little bit of profit, but still stay close. So the thing next was to just strategize your business, come up with a new game plan every day, every week. Come up with a new game plan of how you're gonna survive. So not only that, due to back in 2020, 2021, it was a big influx in how many carriers came aboard or how many new carriers there was. So now at this point, it's literally a fucking rat race when it comes to finding loads on a load board. So when it's a rat race, that gives the brokers leverage to bid on the lowest bidder, because you can have a couple carriers trying to get that one load, being that number one, right now that we're in inflation, the economy is so messed up and screwed up, we are also low on freight. There's not that much freight out here in the United States, apparently. Apparently on the load board, it's not that much freight. You call a lot of these brokers do not have as much freight as they used to right now. Now, mind you, as I said before, now, every business has its cycle, its ups and downs. And I'm just expressing and telling you guys what's going on in the cycle in the trucking industry, because I don't see people talking about it enough. Now, I see carriers talking about it in the Facebook trucking groups, but I don't see the big dogs talking about it. As far as these big people that teach classes and they do this and they do that, they're not speaking on it. They just say, oh yeah, we're going through cycles, it's in the third, but it is really, really hard for carriers right now, especially if you don't have more than one grind, if you don't have more than one hustle. It's really hard for carriers right now. I have seen, like I said before, so many people in 2022 shut their business down, from box trucks to dry vans to flatbeds to reefers, because they can't sustain with the economy. They can't afford to pay their driver. They can't afford to pay their dispatcher when they got to pay insurance, when they got to pay repairs, when they got to pay truck payments. And then you have a whole home and whatever else you got going on at home. So that's one thing. Also, like I said before, it is a rat race with getting these loads. It is a rat race. So also with that, being that so many carriers came during like COVID and things of that nature, now, and also, it's been a whole lot of mess going on with double brokering. It's been a whole lot of compliance issues going on with these carriers. So now brokers are being very selective of who they want to move their freight. And when I say they're being selective, they're checking your safety rate. They're going to Freight Guard to see what's your points. They're going to see how many inspections you have. They're going to, what's the age of your MC? How long have you been in business? Now, that's been a thing. How long have you been in business? But now they really tighten up on it. They really, we need you to be in business at least a year. It's more brokers have changed their requirements when it comes to new carriers. It's been brokers that used to accept new authorities. Now they have new rules and regulations when it comes to new carriers. So, like I said before, it's been very, very hard for these carriers moving forward right now in the trucking industry. Now, if you had a different experience, or if you're experiencing something different, please leave a comment, share your experience. Please share it with me. I love to hear what other people's perspectives. I love to hear other people ideas. We can have ideas to, you know, make a change as far as carriers concerned. Because I want all my carriers to win. Because number one, I feel like carriers get treated so unfairly when they are the ones risking their lives daily. You know what I'm saying? That's why I go so hard for my carriers. I go extremely hard for my carriers because I make sure I get the best rates. I make sure I go above and beyond for them, because you literally risking your life every day. While brokers are behind the scenes, so everybody got to play their part, but still they're on their road every day, and y'all treating them like the bottom of the sea. Without trust, this world will not go around. Everything will come to a stop. Everything will come to an end. Every other industry needs trucking. You have no product. We have no food in the grocery stores. We will have nothing to build these new apartments that cities are building every second of the minute. Like, we are nothing without trust. So I'd be so puzzled, and I'd just be so baffled on the disrespect these brokers give these carriers. They so disrespectful, especially when it comes to these rates. They so disrespectful. It got down to the point where they're trying to do $1 and some change per mile when it comes to these semi trucks. That's crazy. But like I said, if you're experiencing something different, please share, comment. I'm just telling you based off what I've seen, what I've been through, what I experienced, what I endured. This is based off my experience. This is based off what I see. Another reason why these rates are like that as well is because brokers bid for lanes, right? So being that the economy is really messed up, they bid for lanes from the shipper. So you have C.H. Robinson, J.B. Hunt, all these major brokers, TQL, of course, we know. I don't even talk about TQL, but just all these other brokers, they bid for lanes, right? So when they send the shipper their quote for the lane, that's why if you are new to dispatching and you are on a load board, you may see a couple of the same lanes on the load board multiple times from different brokers, because multiple brokers bid for the same lane. So when they're bidding for the same lane, the shipper is going to go to the one who is the cheapest, of course, right? So in reality, you never know how much the broker got the lane for. You never know how much the broker got the lane for, right? So what they're gonna do is, if they was the cheapest, they're gonna put it on the board. They want a lane because they was the cheapest. They're gonna put it on the board for the cheapest rate, and of course, somebody is gonna carry the lane. Some cheap freight carrier is gonna carry the lane. So that's how it works with them. With brokers, they bid for the lane with the shipper. Whoever got the lowest bid, that's who win the lane. Majority of the time, that's how it works. So they got to bid for lanes too. So that's how that goes. But just moving forward, I do want to say, if you are in this industry and you've been in it for years, I know people have been in it for a very, very, very long time. Probably longer than longer than I've been born, or longer I've been in it. Salute to you. Number one, nobody, and then number two, nobody remember quitters anyway. So if you in it, just make sure you find good people in this industry, a good broker, a good dispatcher. Build those good relationships, because those good relationships going to take you further than what you know. Continue to build those good relationships. That's the biggest part in this industry, is building good relationships. Good relationships could take you, it's going to take you where the money at. So also with that, because it's hard to find good people in this industry. People may look on the internet like they will help you, but no, it's more they will finesse you. Be very careful getting into the trucking industry, because it's a dog-eat-dog world. For real. When you find some loyal, if you're a dispatcher, you find some loyal carriers, you find some loyal brokers, you find some loyal other dispatcher friends, you find some other loyal broker friends, or whatever you want to call it. Stick with your little circle, stick with your crew. This is the dog-eat-dog world in this trucking game. In the world, period. Not just only trucking. It's period, in the world, period. Be very careful about who you trust. in this industry. Trust with information, just trust with anything, because this is a world of finesse, basically. So if you find some good, loyal people that you can trust, keep them in your circle. Especially stay around people that know more than you. People that have been in the industry a little longer than you, stay connected to them. That's another thing as well. And also, just find ways to pivot through these bad times and strategize your business the best way you can. And it's up after that, because when it's good, it's good. We know, if you've been in it, you know when it's good, it's good. We eating. You just gotta make it through the bullshit. And that's gonna get done, because nobody remember quitters. And ain't nobody quitting up here. Because, you know, if you've been ready, you ain't gotta get ready. Like, share, comment. If this information was valuable to you, please hit the subscribe button. It is free of charge. And I'll see y'all next time.